Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Pagani Design PD1718 homage to a Tudor Black Bay chronograph. Let's start out with the wrist check. I'm wearing my North Edge Mars watch with a pedometer on it. And since I'm reviewing a Panda today, Grogu wanted to wear my Pagani Design 1676 homage to a Paul Newman Daytona. Grogu said Lando told Han Solo that he discovered groundwater on Tatooine. He said that the water was so deep that they would have to use mining equipment to create massive shafts to get to the water. Han received a call from Leia asking him when he was coming home. He said he could come home now. It was a boring conversation anyway. Okay, here's the watch. They've been coming in these metallic blue boxes lately. So, Pagani Design, I guess, stepping up their game. But here it is. Isn't that a nice looking watch? Tudor is slowly becoming the Black Bay company, as the Black Bay seems to be the line that anybody cares about. My dream Tudor is a Pelagos, which is a dive watch that is not part of the Black Bay line. Last year, Tudor released the Black Bay chronograph to a very positive reception. For some reason, it took a while for the Chinese companies to start making the new Black Bay chronograph homages. San Martin was the first, but they were in the $300 range and thus a little expensive for this channel. Plus, they used a Seagull ST1901 mechanical movement, which is something I've wanted for a while, but I want to run with the display case back, as the ST1901 is a truly beautiful movement to look at. Pagani Design eventually came out with their own homages, but being a Pagani Design, they went with the ever-reliable VK64 Mecha Quartz movement, which is their go-to for a 2-subdial chronograph. The nice thing about a VK64 is that it has a sweeping chronograph second hand. The bad thing is that it does not have a running second hand, which is a shame. There is no need for a 24-hour indicator. It would be nice if the right subdial was a running second hand. However, one can't blame Pagani Design for this oversight, as they don't make the movements. Maybe we should petition Seiko. I paid a good $100 for this because I ordered it as soon as I saw it on AliExpress. If I just would have waited a while for the big AliExpress March sale, I could have saved $20. There is another colorway. You can also get a reverse Panda. The watch is 39.4 millimeters at the bezel, 48 millimeters lug to lug with inverted end links, 12.8 millimeters thick, has a 20 millimeter lug width. It weighs 151 grams with 3 links removed on the supplied bracelet. The bezel has a black ceramic insert with engraved tachymeter. The sides are a brushed steel and a polished chamfered edge. The dial is a flat white when you look at it straight on, but seems to be a little silver or gray when looking at an angle. The Pagani Design name and logo are printed on top in black. Then it says UGGs in red. According to Pagani Design, UGGs stands for Upgrade Grand Series. I think these Chinese companies need to hire a native English speaker who would have told them that UGGs might not be the best choice of acronym. Man, that watch is so UGGs. At least they didn't call it Fine Upgrade Grand Series, which would be FUGS. Then it says water resistant and gives the 100 meters water resistance, which is only half of the Tudor, but plenty for a chronograph anyway. On the bottom it says Japan movement, and this is indeed the Japanese VK64 Mecha Quartz made by Seiko or one of its subsidiaries. It has applied lume indices except for the 3 and the 9 due to the subdials. Most Pagani Design VK64s have a date to 6, but they decided to be true to the Tudor, which doesn't have a date. But the VK64 does have a date, so there's a ghost date. I don't mind ghost dates. A lot of people complain about them, but oh well, I don't think they're a big deal at all. The hands are a Black Bay style, lume sword minute hand, lume snowflake hour hand. The chronograph second hand is not lume but has a red arrow tip. If you look closely, it appears the second hand is about 1/10 of a second to the right of the 12 o'clock. Pretty minor misalignment. The right subdial is a 24-hour indicator. Once again, I wish it had a running second hand instead. The left subdial is the chronograph minute counter. Neither subdial hand is loomed. The sign screw-down crown helps provide the 100 meters water resistance. It pops nicely when unscrewed, but you can really feel the threads in both directions. Yeah, it's just, you can really feel the threads. The pushers are both screw down. Screw down pushers are really locks for the pushers, so you don't accidentally press the pushers when underwater, which would be disastrous. Pushers are your typical chronograph pushers. Top one starts and stops the chronograph. The bottom one resets it. Being a mecha quartz, you get an instant snap back, unlike some quartz chronographs where you get a fast rewind. Here's the chronograph in action. Just press the top pusher and the hand starts sweeping. Since this is a Seiko Mecha Quartz, it ticks 5 times a second. Then go ahead and stop it. Then once again, instant snap back. Then you screw the pushers back down so you don't accidentally push them while underwater. The crystal is a dome box sapphire crystal. I don't know if it has AR coating or not, but it sure looks like it. I don't see a lot of reflection. The case is a brushed solid stainless steel with a polished chamfered edge. The case is really nice. I like it. I don't think this is a case that Pagani designed reusing cases for their other watches. I think it was designed for this watch. I really like this case. There is a screw down case back that gives the Pagani design name. Then it says stainless steel and 100 meters water resistance around the edge. On the bottom it gives the model number. In the middle is an anchor with Upgrade Grand Series. The case back is nice and thin, which helps the watch stay under 13 millimeters despite the box crystal. The writing is printed rather than engraved, so I imagine will eventually wear off with frequent use, but I don't know that for a fact. I haven't had it long enough for it to wear off. Underneath the case back is the VK64 Mecha Quartz movement. This movement does not hack since there is no running second hand. The bracelet has solid inverted end links. The links have the faux rivets of a typical Black Bay. The links are all brushed and there are these thin edge links. Here, let me show you one of the extra links, and I can show you that these edge links are actual links. Here's one of the adjusting links. As you can see, these outer links are true outer links. They're not just a decoration. Then we have screw pin adjusters, and the screws are a little bit smaller than some of these Pagani design, so I do not recommend using the tiny screwdriver that comes in the box. Please get a good set of screwdrivers if you're going to adjust your own bracelets. We have a fully milled clasp, which is nice, but unfortunately we have a diver's extension, and because of this diver's extension there are only 3 holes to micro adjust because there's not room for more holes. I'd much rather have more holes to micro adjust than the diver's extension. I don't think the diver's extension is necessary, especially on a non-diving watch. Here is the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. I think it looks nice. It wears nice and flat. This is a somewhat big watch, but not huge. It's just about the right size. I'm not going to show it to you on any other straps. I think it looks just great on the bracelet. I mean, half the point of getting these Tudor homages is the riveted bracelet. Here we are in the loom room. The Pagani Design OP homage I reviewed recently had pretty good loom. So let's hope the trend continues. As we speed up the time, we can see that the loom is pretty good, but unfortunately, look at that minute hand. It is fading faster than everything else. Too bad it's not as good as that snowflake hour hand. The minute hand is the most important hand of the watch, so it should have the best loom. What do I like about this watch? Well, it looks great. They really nailed the look of the Tudor Black Bay chronograph, and I think it looks awesome. I like this nicely brushed case. I like this dome sapphire crystal because it doesn't reflect a lot. I think it must have some AR coating. And I like the fact that it has a fully milled clasp and not that stupid Rolex style clasp that so many Pagani designers have. What are my gripes and groans? Uggs. That's just a horrible acronym. And I don't like the fact that it doesn't have a running second hand. Once again, I know that's not Pagani Design's fault, but I sure wish Seiko would come out with the 2 subdial Mecha Quartz that had a running second hand. And I don't like the fact that it has the diver's extension because that limits the amount of micro adjusts you can have. I don't like the fact that the minute hand loom is not as good as the rest of the watch. Do I recommend this watch? Yes, most definitely. It's a great looking watch despite being labeled Uggs. It is well built and nails the look of the much more expensive Tudor and is a third of the price of the San Martin. I just wish Seiko would come out with a 2 subdial Mecha Quartz with a running second hand instead of the 24-hour indicator. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Pagani Design PD1718, homage to a Tudor Black Bay chronograph. And I will be back with another review or unboxing. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel and leave comments. For some reason that helps. Bye.